I'll go and see what the market is actually going to say to me, right? So it's okay to put something out there, guys, that flops. It's totally okay. One of the best things that I heard from anyone in our industry, and I want all of you to take this to heart, when we had Hector Garcia joined us back in June for like a small coaching group we were doing, and we all know how prolific Hector is, right? The guy has, I don't even know how many YouTube videos. Is it thousands at this point? And he said that he makes a video every single day. Every single day, he goes into his studio and he records a video. He said, but he doesn't publish a video every single day because not all of them are good. And like some of them, he knows they're clearly not good. But he is more, he's process oriented, right? So if we're oriented on the process, he knows that if he just shows up and makes a video every day, half of them will be good enough for him to publish to his YouTube. But that's just a little, like a little lesson, a little insight there, guys, right? Is like someone who we might think of one of the most prolific content creators in our industry, just flat out telling us they regularly fail at it. And actually they fail at it on purpose. They fail at it as part of their process because we can't get the good stuff if, we're just not engaged with
I have a
that.
question about that, and this always bothers me, is when he says it's not good enough to publish, what is good enough? I mean, is that like a personal barometer, or is there like some kind of a standard that okay, fine, if it reaches, I mean, it's very subjective, right?
It is 100% subjective, 100% for Hector and the way that he was discussing it and framing. I think his answer, I don't want to speak on behalf of him, but I think his answer would be that it's like entirely subjective, right? It's based on like how he feels about the quality of the information, like once it's done, right? Once he like
So,
finishes.
so basically what it means is what the things that have not been published, that he thinks is not good enough, are totally fine, are actually good if I were to look at it, or anybody else would look at it, right? But because of his high standards or whatever his standards are, he won't publish it because it doesn't meet his standards that he has set for himself, which is again arbitrary and totally subjective. So, or that could be, or basically depending on his mood, he could have published it. I don't know. Those are my thoughts.
I think there's like another. I think I've talked to Hector long enough to know, and you guys can check me up on this if you want and ask him. I think what he would say is like it's not his standards, but it's the market standard. He's just put out so much content that he's kind of learned the feedback, right? Like he kind of has an idea of what the market's going to respond to.
He created the market standard basically, and then of course he's got to reach that from now on. So like whatever content, if somebody else did it, would be okay for publish, but it's not okay for him, which is fine.
I don't think it's about him. I really do think it's like, is this going to serve
right
other people? Right.
Right.
And if the answer is yes or no, there's content that I create where I get really excited about specific things. And whenever I share them with you all, sometimes I'll reflect later on and be, you know what, like, I really cared about that. That was really cool to me. I know how it can help these people, but you know, maybe I said it in a way that like wasn't exactly relevant to them. Um, I was actually on a call, like this past Tuesday where one of my mentors, I was trying to like get an idea across and and he was like, dumb it down again, dumb it down again, come back, dumb it down again, and maybe you're there, right? Like maybe you're there in a way to where like your ideas, you can actually communicate them in a way that people are going to understand and be able to act on.